Hello, everybody. Welcome to League Zero, Week 1 for Intermediate, the first week of official games. I know everyone's excited. I am your play-by-play caster, Chungus, and I'm here with Molly,
Hello?
and we will be casting today's match, Capitalism versus Double Cap. Now, both these teams
Okay, sorry.
both these teams have been looking honestly, they've both been looking pretty good. Double Cap recently won the SMI. Tyler has been looking like a great main tank, and Great Cub on Capitalism has been looking like a phenomenal support. You got anything else to add, Molly?
Yeah, double cap is definitely your favorite for this match. But I think it will be closer than a lot of analysts are predicting. I don't see a sweep happening. But yeah, I definitely have to say that double cap are the firm favorites for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think mentioning Double Cap, you can't gloss over Kate. The dude is probably from what I've seen, the dude's probably the best like Zarya at least in Inter. I mean, his mechanics are nuts. So I honestly want to see how Grasshopper can fare up, in that off tank spot against Kate here for this match. But Molly, is there anything that you're looking for in this match that might excite for the viewers?
Um, I think I'll be looking at Shinx and Rogue to maybe. I want to see maybe in this meta a Reaper or a Sombra, maybe to kind of push back the tank line of double cap a bit because I honestly think that is their by far firmest strength. And it's really going to be on those two capitalism DPS to really shut down those two tanks and keep control of the game throughout the entire match and keep map control and basically stop the snowball that I can see happening if the two double cap tanks are just allowed free roam, free control of the map, and free control of the tempo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if this double cap tank line, as you're saying, does get that ball rolling, it's going to be very, very hard to stop them just at all. But I think something else we have to notice here is Great Cub versus Grimace. Both these flex supports are looking very, very good. But can Grey Cub edge out Grimace here for Capitalism? Because Grey Cub has been looking like one of the best flex supports in all of Inter. I mean, he was in Inter last year and he still looked amazing. And so now, if he can really show up that performance again this season against Double Cap, I think this Capitalism roster is genuinely going to look very scary.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Grey Cup, he's an incredible player, and I honestly think he does have it in him to really, I suppose, I don't want to say put the team on his back because I think Capitalism is a good team, but I think he can definitely be a real difference maker today. And yeah, that flex support matchup is going to be key to this game.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think looking at both these teams, what compositions do we expect both these teams to run here, Molly?
Well, it's going to be starting out on Lijiang Tower, so I'm expecting some Reinhardt rush comps, maybe with either a Sombra or a Reaper. Uh, Probably Reinhardt Diva. Maybe a Zarya in there as well. I can see maybe Cat wanting to play the Zarya, but it's going to be real interesting. Maybe we might see a bit of dive on Gardens. I don't know, but I'm mostly expecting the Reinhardt rush comps.
Yeah, I think I do have to agree with you there. It looks like the Reinhardt rush comps have been very standard, especially on Control Center. But also Monkey and Diva have been very stable recently in this meta. So again, we could be seeing that Monkey Diva, Monkey Zarya, Ryan Zarya. There's a bunch of different lineups that you could run here. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very different thing. Lijiang has always been one of those maps where every map you could run something different. So I think this is really going to be an interesting match, especially for a first map of Lijiang. It's a standard first map, and hopefully, it's gonna be an exciting one. It looks like we're getting R's flying through the chat. Some people saying it like pirates, and it looks like we're finally going to be getting this first map underway here.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is a great time for some Overwatch. The meta is in complete flux right now. Lijiang has always been a favorite map of mine just because of how flexible it is. So I'm really interested to see how teams are going to roll out here on Control Center. Maybe a Junkrat or maybe even a Sim. I'm really interested. We'll probably be seeing some Reinhardt Diva or Reinhardt Zarya though.
Yeah, both these this map specifically has been one that's very keen on brawl, and it looks like we will see that Ryan Zarya coming out from both sides. Madsen opting to go for the May here, and Rogue, as of right now, is on that Symmetra, but it could be subject to change. They might just, TP out of spawn in the first few seconds.
Yeah, my eyes are on Shinx right now. I'm wondering if he's gonna lock in this Junkrat pick. It's very strong if you can get that first control, but if you're trying to take it back, it can be really hard to do, and I think the Reaper May will have probably the advantage here.
Yep, well, the doors have unlocked, and it looks like they will be staying on the sim. Both Reinhardt starting to engage. Grasshopper gets the first pick on the Kenobi, gets a very big first pick, and then Rogue follows it up with a pick on a Tyler, and Rogue getting Pangu as well. Rogue getting a third, coming out strong on this Symmetra very early on. The point hasn't even unlocked yet.
And this is just worst case scenario here. I mean, you're looking at this Rogue on the Sim and Shinx on the Junkrat. You're gonna have a real hard time pushing up to point with this. This is just a nightmare scenario right now. But,
yeah, and now, sorry, as you were saying before I cut you off there on accident, that Sim now has free range to put up her turrets, and the Junk has free spam. So it looks like DC is going to be rotating around the turrets and around that Junk spam. It looks like they want to go back to White Rim, and it looks like actually Capitalism is a little split here. Kate finds Shinx off in the first few seconds. That is going to be Viper charging in. He's in the backline right now. The Maywalk came on at a perfect timing. Pingo gets that pick off onto Viper, and it looks like this fight is so far going DC's way. Grasshopper ends up offing himself at the server. It's
it appears
gone.
the server is gone. The server is gone. Oh no.
Oh
Oh
no.
dear.
You
This is
hate
not
to
what you
see
want
it.
to see.
Oh no. Oh no, dividing. How could
Oh
you ruin
dear,
like
no.
this?
You kidding me, dude? One fight in. One fight in, bro. Fuck
One
off, Blizzard.
one fight in indeed. Uh,
Oh
Okay,
well.
are both teams good with just redoing? Okay, give me 1 second, because now we have to fucking figure out. God, what a great way to start this. Okay, Knock, can you mute stream for just like 2 seconds?
That was unfortunately a little bit of a delay there. The map unfortunately ended up shutting down on us. Nothing we can do. Just small indie Blizzard companies, you know.
Yeah, it's
SM8.
what happens. It's what happens.
It's just what happens, and it seems like a car's actually driving by Knock's house right now. Very cool, Knock. And it looks like we're going in for take 2 here.
Now
Back
arriving at
on Lijiang Tower. Will it be Control Center? No, it's going to be Gardens this time around.
Yeah,
So
I suppose you might see the Winston dive come out on this one. It'd be really interesting if Matson and Pingu want to run that Reaper May thing again. It's definitely going to be a lot harder to play the dive into, but it's definitely possible on this map. There are quite a few angles to approach from. It's not as difficult. It's not as choky. Yeah, we're going to be seeing the Winston dive. No surprises there. It'd be interesting to see if Cat opts for the Zarya over the Diva here. It looks like Matson is going to be rolling out the Sombra.
Yeah, Matson on Rogue. Matson and Rogue with that Sombra matchup. So it's gonna be really interesting to see that Sombra duel. See who's going to be more effective with getting the hacks off, getting the EMP percentage. All those things go into a great Sombra duel, and it looks like right now the doors are going to be unleashed.
Yeah, Shinx is gonna he's gonna swap over to the Reaper here. Yeah, they're just gonna match each other. This is the comp we've pretty much been seeing as I suppose the meta, if you like. It's this Winston rush comp. Basically, it's just built around these hacks, and I've seen a couple go off there.
Yeah, Viper got took down very early, so he had to use his jump to get out. And Viper actually gets picked off by Matson, that Sombra on the off angle, so deadly. She TV's out of there as she got pressured down, but Tyler is now pressing this advantage. He wants to take as much kills as he can with that Monkey Gone, but both Coalescences come out at the same time. It was a nice little funny voice interaction. And it looks like Tyler will be finding this this early pick onto Goose, and it's just going to be pushing Capitalism back as Goose is going to have a little bit of a delayed spawn.
Yeah, but look at that ult charge for Cat right now. Pretty much at Grav right now. That's huge. The EMP as well going to be coming online. That's so much damage that was pumped in that fight, and this is pretty much going to be an instant fight win if she can get off this good grab.
Yeah, if you can get off that grab really fast. There is the EMP and the grab. That grab might come right after. It's actually not going to, but Pingu is going to get a pick on the Great Cup, but it's going to be followed right after this one gets pick on the Grimace, but it's not going to matter. Kate gets 2 and Tyler cleans up Stinks.
Yeah, Cat actually got hacked in that fight, but it didn't matter because Matson got a 5-man EMP. That was absolutely huge. Blue team's going to have an EMP of their own here, but it's really just going to be on the back of Cat's grab here. The sound barriers are going to have to be big from both Lucio's.
Yeah, if Grasshopper can't build up the bomb, there could be an opportunity for an EMP bomb. But there it is. There's the grab. The EMP also comes out. Hits 4 of them. The V is there from both sides, as is the Coalescence from Great Cup. The Death Blossom from Pink doesn't catch anything, but it creates enough space for the rest of his team to roll through Capitalism. And the lone surviving Great Cub makes his walk of shame back to spawn.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the ult economy reset there. You're both going to have Primal Rage going into this fight. Capitalism is going to have a Death Blossom here, but it's very hard to get this off. It's really just a complete ult reset here. It's just going to be down to hacks.
Manson now with this Sombra, and there it is, 4-man! And it looks like Grasshopper is instantly out of mech. Shinx is going to rebuttal with a 2-man Death Blossom with that Lucio out of the way. That's going to be a huge source of reeling gone. Real gets his 0-2K. Shinx cleans up Kate, and that is going to be a team kill for Capitalism.
Yeah, that was really, really clutch there from Shinx. I didn't think he could pull it off, but I stand corrected, he did, and that was just really clutch, despite the EMP being used. But now they have the Grav coming in, so I'm looking at Grasshopper right here. He has to eat this.
It would be huge if Grasshopper could eat this Grav here. It would just mitigate so much damage that would come through. It looks like they're going to be pushing this advantage. Great Cup is going to be using the pulses to push the advantage. The Zarya ult is out, and Matson takes out Viper. Matson already close to another EMP, already 50 weight there. Just using the last fight. Pingu picks off Gustag on Rogue. Falls to the beam of Kate. Actually, 3 of them fall to the beam of Kate. Kate tearing through Capitalism right now. It's going to be triggering overtime. Can Viper get a last-second touch? He can. He gets back on the point. He's primal raging to knock away everybody, trying to just stall this point off as long as he can. He will stall it out for long enough. Pingu does kill the recontesting people, and it looks like there actually might not be enough people to recontest. No, I stand corrected. Shinx is able to get in there, and now as is the Diva. Shinx actually quickly taken out of this fight, and now it's just the Diva. And with that Diva out of Mecha and dead, it is going to be the point going to DC.
Yeah, I definitely would have went with the Diva pick over here, but I'm surprised at how much value the Zarya is getting. I don't think the focus fire is effective enough, and maybe it's just calls in the heat of the moment. Matson's been getting some huge value on that Sombra as well. I don't want to undermine him. He's been getting some absolutely huge Sombra. Obviously, that 5 EMP was so good. It was so good. It pretty much set the game up for them. But they're still gonna run this Winston, our Kappitalism, maybe swapping over to Mercy. This is interesting. I think Reinhardt definitely has the advantage on this map, but it could work. It could work.
I think it depends what strategy you're going for. If you TP into that top window, which looks like double cap is, that shield is going to be a huge advantage. But if you're just going to be playing this brawl, that monkey is going to be so much better here. The Sim DP, Sim Turks, sorry, are up on the points. It's going to be a huge ton of damage to try and poke through. Viper got poked down so low in the beginning, but now he does get healed back up. Grasshopper is actually going to be the one falling low. Actually, everybody at Capitalism falling low at the same time that they back up, but Goose Duck and Grey Cup are no longer alive to keep them up, and it looks like Double Cap just wants to push this advantage, and they will, rolling straight through Capitalism on this first fight.
Yeah, and this is really bad for Kappitalism. Now the Sombra's set up, and especially on this map, I think this is probably one of the worst maps for it. It's the turret placement. Is so many choke points that you can just place them, slow down the enemy team, and especially when you're running a dive like this, you do not want that. The brawl is so strong from Double Cap right now, it's going to be really difficult for Kappitalism to take this back.
Yeah, but Shinx now on that tower actually might get a huge amount of value with no hit scan from DC. The Shatter comes out and gets you on the ground. This is a big Shatter. The follow-up is onto Great Kill's huge source of healing out of the way. Viper falls and Rogue links in Takate, killing him instantly. Actually, I saw it. It was on impact. And that fight is actually going to be lost for Kappitalism there pretty quickly too.
Yeah, and look at it again. It's Cat's Grab. It's going to be on Grasshopper again to eat this. It's a big ask, but you know, it's looking really tough for Kappitalism right now. They don't have any big. They're not coming up on any big ults. That Primal Rage could be a difference maker, but as I said, that grab is obviously what you're gonna want to have your eyes on right now.
Yeah, this grab needs to be eaten, and it's not going to be. It's just gonna be chucked into the face of Winston. Tyler charges him down. Viper out of the fight, and that's just gonna be DC pushing this advantage right now. They realize that their player's down, that being taken out of the fight. It's gonna be huge for them. Grasshopper just throws himself off the map to reset back into his mech, and now this is last fight territory.
Yeah, and it's the ults. They're still not looking good for Kappitalism. All they have is they're gonna have a pulse bomb, maybe a barrage bomb, and then Primal Rage. But you look at the ults on this side of Double Cap, they're gonna have both support ults. Rogue's just gonna trigger the overtime here, but it's still looking dicey.
Yeah, and Grimace popping at that close a little bit earlier. Grasshopper going to be using the bomb, but just so he can get back and back. Shinx gets the barrage, he gets Grimace, he also gets mad. Somebody claims his own life for Grey Cup also out of this fight. Mystic tried to go for the ballsy res, but it's not going to work. And with that grab and that death blossom, it looks like this will be the end of the fight, the end of the point, and the end of the first map. Double Cap winning it.
Yeah, it's just been some insane performances from Cat on the Zarya and Matson on that DPS role. They've both been playing insane. I mean, if I'm Kappitalism right now, I don't know what to do because Double Cap, they're playing really well now, and it's really hard to play into a team like this. It's going to be interesting seeing how the map picks are going to go. But yeah, it's definitely, you can see why Double Cap are the favorites to win this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tyler and Kate, once they got their rhythm down on that monkey Zarya, or that even when he was on Ryan, once they got that rhythm down, they were unstoppable. It seemed like Tyler and Kate have been really in sync, being able to go with these bubbles and go aggressive, and just really get out there. And I think it's really on the DPS line to be able to punish Kate for going so aggressive, or for punishing Tyler for going so aggressive.
Yeah, I honestly think that Shinx look best on that fire roll. So maybe depending on the map, we could see that again. But as you said, Thailand Kare, they're just allowed to play so aggressive. They take so much space. They take complete control of the game. They bring the game to capitalism, and that's really what's just it's why they're the favorites. They are so good at this. Their aggression is strong. Their support line is in sync with their tank line. Their tank line knows exactly what to do, and their DPS supplements it perfectly. They got it down. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're saying it perfectly. With especially with Madsen on that Sombra, Madsen looked so good on that Sombra, shutting down people constantly, getting those tiny little hacks off where it mattered, and then building up those EMPs so fast. I mean, when you can build those EMPs so fast, where you're essentially having them either every fight or every other fight, just having that EMP is such a presence to it's just such a presence for the enemy team to realize that you have it, and that if you don't play carefully and if you don't play around that EMP, your team is going to be wiped. And I think that either got in the heads of capitalism, or Madsen knew that and he took advantage of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Uh, the EMP, it's so hard to push into because you basically have to be constantly spy checking, constantly worrying. It's a monkey on your back that can really slow you down on these pushes. So depending on the map, I don't want to see capitalism run this dive style again. Yeah, it's fun to watch, obviously. But if the way Double Cap is playing this brawl, it's going to be really hard to play into.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be very hard to play into. Tyler, especially, he's been known as such a great main tank throughout this league for the past 2 seasons, and sorry, Tyler has been known as such a great main tank for these past seasons, as I was saying, and with him still being an inter and having all that experience on these previous teams, I mean, it's just going to add up over time, and I think we're starting to see that with Tyler taking so much space and honestly capitalizing on the small mistakes that capitalism is making.
Yeah. We're going to see them roll out on Volskaya here. This is interesting. It obviously is quite more open to the dive. You're going to see probably more Winston Zarya or Winston Diva comps. It looks like capitalism is favoring towards that Winston Diva here. Interested to see what Shinx and Rogue are going to play. Maybe we're also going to see the Mercy come out again. They did run it on the last map. It didn't do too good, but it's obviously a lot better on Volskaya, especially on that first point.
I think what's going to be interesting to see is if there's going to be like any Ash play or Widow play on this map, because Widow and Ash have been very big on these kind of maps, and if we do see that, I think we're going to see some star players really show up and really fill the shoes in their teams, or like these voids that the DPS are missing. So I think if we do see any of these Ashes or Widows, it's really going to stand out in these matches.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Ash and Widow, they can turn the game on their own. That's the power of Hitscan in this meta. They can turn the game on their own. One pick, two pick, you win a team fight, you take a point. It's absolutely huge. It can save you 1-2 minutes. Looks like we're going to be going in now. Onto Volskaya, I'm really interested to see here. It's probably going to be dive from both teams. Maybe some Winston rush comps, but I'm more so expecting the dive.
Yeah, and we will see double cap on this defense first. And normally, when you're on this defense, you have that Rhine, but Rhine has not been exactly stable in this meta. So we'll probably still see that Winston on the defense, and we'll actually be able to see right in a second here. Yeah, we will have that Winston on this defense. Kate is still on that Zarya, which is fairly interesting.
I mean, can you blame him? He's been absolutely destroying this game. I don't know how many grabs he had in that last map. I think he must have gotten about 4 or 5. I wasn't keeping track. It was so many. This guy, he's been putting up some huge performances in that first map, and if he can carry it through here onto Volskaya, he's going to be a serious problem for Capitalism.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think really who needs to step up on Capitalism right now is that tank line. They really need to just hold their own ground. They can't fold under pressure like they have been in these past fights. But the attackers are out of the doors right now. Roog on that Sombra, and again they're on this monkey dive comp with that Diva. The Diva's going to be poking in here a little bit, and looks like Viper wants to get in really aggressive here. Tyler poking away at him, and Tyler's going to be taken out very low. Tyler's hacked up. It's a really big chance for Capitalism to push his advantage. Grasshopper so low in the bank, doesn't want to take any chances right just yet. Shinx trying to push in so desperately, but Kate is super charged up on the Zarya. Now Viper falling very low again. Nobody has been killed just yet. Viper going to be driving to the back line and pulls this out from the Grey Cup, as is it out from Grimmett. Pingu gets a pick onto Viper. Kate falls to the shotgun shells of Shinx, as does Tyler. Grasshopper's out of mech. Pingu finds Goose Duck. This is really just a battle of Reapers right now. Both Reapers popping off. Grimace actually finds Grasshopper. Rouge finds Kenobi. Pingu gets a pick onto Great Cup and Shinx. Pingu trying to keep this point alive at all costs, and it looks like he might just. Viper is back. They're trying to get on this point so desperately. But with the Sombra holding it, and with Goosek getting pick on a Pingu, Viper might actually be able to recontest here. Goosek is hacked up and is going to be killed by Tyler. Oh boy, dear Lord Almighty, this fight is going on forever. Kate is still super charged up, and a big EMP coming up from
huge.
And the follow-up from Shinx is going to be even bigger, and it looks like this fight will be going in favor of Capitalism. What a long one.
Yeah, that fight went for absolute ages. At one point, it looks like Double Cap had it there, but obviously Rogue came in with that absolutely gigantic EMP, hit 5, and you know, that's a game changer. Can't use your abilities, you're probably gonna die.
You know what? When you put it like that, it makes sense. But I mean, now you look at the ultimates from Double Cap. They have everything except the skull lessons right here. EMP is huge, and the follow-up from Pingu is massive. I was trying to talk about the coalescence and I accidentally said EMP. I mean, that EMP was just, it was so noticeable. It was so big. It was so amazing. And,
it was gigantic. It was gigantic. It's Matson on that Sombra again. He's still putting in an absolute clinic
poor
here.
Grasshopper. He got staggered for so long.
And that was 2 ults for a team fight win. That's pretty big. They're still able to hold on to the grab. They're still able to hold on to the primal rage, and they're still able to hold on to the beat. What more could you want?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. This is probably best case scenario for both teams, because if you are Capitalism, you took that fight without using any ults of your own. But if you're double capped, I mean, that's also good to see when you use 2 ults. We're just going to be using this full lesson, and the grab is out from Kate. It finds a lot, but Rogue is actually going to be taking care of Grimace on his own. He wants to take this game into his own hands. Pingu going to be taking out Great Cup in the backline. Grasshopper actually finds a pick on the Kate. Tyler, that primal rage swats away Rogue like a fly. Right now, Double Cap is holding out fairly considerably. Tyler winning out against Shinx, not something you see from a monkey. Right now, this Capitalism has control of the point, but Double Cap is looking to get right back on it, and they will be. They are driving away Capitalism from this point very, very well.
Yeah, that fight kind of turned against Capitalism quite quickly. It did get stalled out for a bit, but it was mostly in the way of Double Cap. They did manage to force out everything from Double Cap though, and now they have EMP and Death Blossom and Bomb. I'm seeing maybe an EMP Bomb combo here to maybe open up the point. And I mean, if it's good, this could be point B right here.
Yeah, I mean, huge ult combos that you can't have right there. There it is. There's the EMP. It gets both tanks, and the what's it called? The Death Blossom, sorry, comes in right after it.
The counter EMP is huge.
The counter EMP is huge, but he gets taken up by this ensuing self-destruct. Tyler doesn't get break up. That EMP effectively had nothing on it. Pingu, just over here, blade doesn't get used to, please instantly silence Tyler back to his plane. Captain, he's back on the ride. The madman on the ride. Madsen, the madman on the Doomfist. And with a huge stall and a huge comeback from Matson and Kate, they were able to defend that point.
And that was just clutch from Kate and Matson right there. They had their backs against the wall. That was all Capitalisms, but they just clutched it out, and that's really what makes a great player. It's, yeah, sure, what can you do when you have all the resources, but what can you also do when you have nothing? Your back's against the wall. And, well, they proved themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. The closest from here from Great Cup and Grimace here, both trying to sustain and damage the enemy team. Nobody does have this death loss, or not this being online, and usually actually going to pick on the Tyler. He's going to use the sound barrier, as does Kenobi. This is going to be a little bit of a wrong point. Shinx finds Kaja with a huge early pick. Shinx going with a death blossom, gets 2! That's huge from Shinx. Tyler trying to come back. The bubble is instantly broken. Tyler now using this problem where he's getting bursted down so fast from having 1200 HP. He's hacked up. He's killed. The first take is in. Kate, he's back on the Rhine again, but it's not going to work this time, buddy. And it looks like it's going to be the Primal Rage from Viper. The EMP is actually pretty big. It takes, it gets Pingu in the mix. Kenobi is out of the fight, as is Grimace. No support for the side of double cap. Tyler hacked up and is out of the game. It's a huge EMP, but Kate can't touch. What a point to take with 1:03 remaining.
Score.
Yeah, that was really well done from Capitalism. As much as I've bigged up double cap here, that was really well done, really well executed. They didn't have it in them that time to clutch it back from the death double cap, but I mean, they still burned a lot of clock. And 1 minute in the timeout isn't bad, but it's not great either. You could definitely get better, and especially when they had 4 minutes going into point B, if you remember.
Yeah, especially, and when you're an attacking team, you really want to try and get that 2-minute bonus, because if you're above that 2 minutes and your enemy team isn't, then you get to keep that 2 minutes. So that's going to be huge. It's going to be huge if double cap either steamrolls or at least just gets 2 minutes on the spot. They'll be able to keep that 2 minutes in there, while Capitalism will only have 1. It's more of a recent change to 2CP, but it's also one that is impacting this game mode. It's impacting this game mode a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the change personally, but it has added a whole nother layer to this map, if you like. We're gonna see again these Winston rush comps, and again it's gonna be Grasshopper on the Diva. Cat, he's just gonna go out on that Zarya, and I mean, why not? It's worked all game. I'd honestly think that Grasshopper maybe should think about swapping it up.
Maybe you just need to take that Zarya and duel, but I mean, with how Tasha's performing, like, do you even want to take that duel? Pingu is actually hacked up pretty early here from Rouge. It's going to make DC back off just a little bit, but they're already ready back to engage. Rogue in the backline actually gets a hack onto Grimace. It's a huge hack early off. No orb for the Moira. It looks like the Monkey and the Lucy are going to be going behind, trying to clamp down on the DC backline. That's not going to work. That's going to fall out pretty quickly. And now it's going to be a fight in this Mega. Looks like there was a hack onto the Mega, actually. And DC's going to fall from right behind. They're going to try and get somebody out on the flank, but it's not going to happen. Shinx trying to push in through here. Use as much value as he can on that Reaper. Not going to find anything yet, but Viper does find Grimace. Pingu gets the better of Shinx in that Reaper 1v1. Kaze also beaming down Viper pretty earlier. Great Cup is actually going to be using this coalescence to try and just keep this fight alive. The grab is there. Kaze dies for it though, but it looks like it's not going to matter, as this fight should go the way of double cap, and it will.
And Kade, he just builds up that graph so fast. The one team fight, he has it. This guy, he's playing absolutely out of his mind right now. This Zarya pick, it's working wonders for him. I don't want to say he's solo carrying, but he is definitely putting his name on this match.
Oh, he is putting his name all over it. He is smothering it in this match right now. And coming into this next map, coming to this next point, sorry, you do see the EMPs both online from both teams. There it is! There's a huge EMP from Rouge. No beat to be able to counter as he was hacked up. Pingu is deep in the back line here, but he's going to be the one who finds Shinx. Matson also very low. This again might not matter. Looks they really want to push this aggression, and they will. The beat is hacked up from the EMP. Pingu finds Viper. Great Cup to get the better of Grimace, though. Pingu using the Death Blossom. Can he get much value out of it? He doesn't get much value out of it, but Kenobi will boop off Grasshopper. Madsen wins the Sombra 1v1 and finds Great Cup. And DC, so far, rolling this attack. The stall does come out from Viper. Shinx is also there to get a stall. The Primal Rage out, but he's hacked up. He's so low. Shinx does get Kenobi. It's not gonna matter much though. Actually, I think Kenobi tried to use beat there, and it got canceled from the Death Blossom. Tyler, the Primal Rage does kill Viper, but Rogue is also going to kill Madsen. The grab is out. Grasshopper's in there trying his hardest to survive. He won't be able to. And DC actually might be able to turn this fight back into their favor. Really need to take up some target focus here. Rouge is down. There's no longer a Mei. Kante is just beaming fools down right now. Tyler gets used. Pingu using the Death Blossom. He finds a Viper. Grasshopper's back on the point. Shinx is not on the point. He gets instantly deleted. Grasshopper out of mech. And DC with a huge time bait going into round 3.
Yeah, that time difference is absolutely gigantic. But it was the fact that Kat was just allowed to stay alive for so long. He was just beaming down people, not a care in the world, no focus fire on him. He had no pressure on his shoulders. He was just free to beam people down, do absolutely massive amounts of damage, build up another grab, fire it in, secure the team fight. They have to shut down Kat, especially just because he's playing Zarya. Whenever you're against a Zarya, you genuinely want to focus fire them because they're just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger as the team fight goes on. As they build up that charge and they build up that damage.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, I mean, he's just putting in so much work on the Zarya. I mean, he builds up a grab. It feels like every fight. Feels like every half a fight he has a grab. I mean, this man is, I mean, you said it like so many times, but I'm gonna say it once more. He is putting in the work, and he's just putting this team right now. He is enabling his team to do so much right now, and I mean, it's working out for Double Cap. He's giving Tyler all the space he needs, and Tyler is taking full well of the advantage of it.
I guess if you're Kappitalism here, you want to play around Rogue's EMP. His EMPs have been great. His hacks have been great. He's been playing well. It's just, can they put it all together? And it's a really tough ask. The time difference is obviously huge, about 3 minutes. We're just going to have to see how it goes.
Yeah, we are in fact just going to have to see how it goes. Rogue on a little bit of an alt failure. He's a little farther away. Not ideal for a Sombra spam, but Tyler gets chugged down very low, but he's hacked up now. This is a huge time for them to try and press their advantages. They won't be able to actually because Viper got picked off so low. Tyler is 1 HP in this mega room. It looks like he won't fall just yet, but Great Cup using this coalescence to just try and pressure out everybody on the enemy team. While
Kane has the grab already.
Kane! He builds up the grab already! They were not expecting that one. Kate takes the Grasshopper, takes his life. Madsen already with the EMP. Hacks up everybody, and now there's only 10 seconds left. Kenobi! The beat, man! You didn't have to do it to him.
That's just it, the beat for BM. I don't even know if they're going to get a touch here. They probably will with the Sombra. But it's looking very unlikely here.
Rogue will actually be able to get back on point. Viper now has his Primal Rage Pingu already taking care of Rogue, making sure that he does not get any more value off that Sombra. Pingu! He gets 2 with the Death Blossom. Shinx is trying to pull up some heroes. Does get Kate, but I don't think it'll be enough in this fight. It won't. Tyler completely checks on Shinx. Goose Duck out of the fight, and now it's just Grey Cup. And he's gone pretty quickly. And that is going to be Double Cap full holding on this 3rd round. And now they have essentially the same timing they did on the first attack attempt. That is
not actually a full hold. They managed to get 43% on the board, but it's still looking very dire. Obviously, 4 minutes to take 1 tick in a bit. You'd have to favor Double Cap to take this all the way. We're probably looking at match point right now. If I really don't know what I'd do here if I was Kappitalism, because when you're playing against Kat in this mood, he is just on fire. He's beaming people down, and Madsen as well. I haven't really praised him that much, but he's been having a great game. His hacks have been huge. He's been building EMP so fast, way faster than Rogue. It's just been a really, really nice team performance from Double Cap, as much as we've been praising Kat.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can really point out anybody on this double cap roster, and you can just be like, yeah, they performed really well so far. Yeah, Kenobi, he's been on point with these beats. He's been away from most of the EMPs. He's gotten the beats off for those EMPs. Grimace, he's always got those coalescences ready. I mean, pointing out anybody on this team, you can find a standout performance.
It looks like Pingu might. Oh no, he's gonna swap over to the Reaper. I was hoping we maybe see the Widowmaker, but we're just gonna see again the rush comps. Yeah, as you said, you could literally point out anyone on this team and give them a gold medal, a gold star. They've been doing absolutely great here. They've just been playing so well so far throughout the series.
Yeah, absolutely. And Grimace already trying to build this EP, but or not this EP, sorry, that coalescence. He's so low already. He actually will be taken out first. Looks like this is a really weird rotation from Capitalism. Looks like they will be rotating back to the point, actually. That's a little refreshing. Yeah, I didn't really. That was gonna be a really weird fight if they try to take in that little bridge area. Kate just trying to farm away a little bit on this side by himself. I know Tyler's actually very low. Looks like she's going to be TPing up to the high. Going to try and take this duel with Pingu, but I mean, you have that Sombra help there. You don't really want to take that 2v1 just yet. Viper dives onto the high ground. He gets hacked out instantly. He's full health though. Really good, really great job from Breakup keeping him up there. And now it's just going to be ults from both sides coming up. There are both coalescences. Kate 82 to this grab already. He might be able to get it just in time for the coalescences. And there it is. The EMP from Rogue hacks 4. Kate can't use his grab to say you need to kill Kate right now. Pingu is actually the one who falls. And there it is. The grab is out. Kate gets boosted from Madsen and Kenobi fall as well. So I don't think this is going to be the fight Double Cap wants to win just yet. Kate is still alive. We'll see he's going to be batted around and smashed into the ground from the primal rage of Viper. And a nice hold from Capitalism.
A nice hold from Kappitalism, yeah. They traded EMP for Grav, but I mean, Rogue's already 40% to another one. So, I mean, at the rate Cat's building him up, who knows? Rogue's just gonna go. Okay. Didn't realize he had his translocator up. Madsen has the EMP though, and that could be the thing that breaks it over. Guzdak, he does have the barrier to respond, but you know he is gonna have to play a game of cat and mouse here.
Oh yeah, he is playing very far back from his team right now. If you see, I mean, if you are Madsen right there, you would have wanted the EMP there, but it looks like they won't press that advantage just yet. Rogue is going to be out of the fight, or not out of the fight, but he's going to be translocating back. He's very low right now, and there it is! There's the EMP. Kate instantly finds Shinx. Grasshopper is almost full health. He was low there for a second. Great Cup using his coalescence to try and get back up. There's the beat from Kenobi. The bomb doesn't find anyone. Pingu going in with Death and finds Rogue. Great Cup actually finds Tyler with that coalescence. Beamed him down with that Kamehameha. Grasshopper is hacked up and Meg Grimace finds Grey Cup. Pingu also takes down Viper with those shotguns. And it looks like this will be the fight win for Double Cap taking this map.
Yeah, there was definitely some good signs there, though, from Capitalism at the end there. They were starting to sort of work together a lot better. The focus fire was a lot better. But, you know, when you're up against a 4-minute time bank, there's really only so much you can do. 4 minutes to get one tick. It's a big ask. But I think Rogue played really well. And I think Viper's been playing well. He's been playing really aggressive, and sometimes it's costing his team, but it is creating a lot of space and allowing for a lot of map control, which you really need from that Rogue. But yeah, Cat, he's playing absolutely out of his mind right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that card at the end there, but Cat had 31 high energy eliminations out of his 36 eliminations.
Yeah, he is. It's not even just his mechanical skill, it's how well his bubble usage is. And this is really what separates a good Zarya from a great Zarya. He's keeping that energy high, he's keeping his teammates alive. It's enabling Tyler to play super aggressive, super in the face of the enemy team. And, you know, as I said, I think Grasshopper, maybe he should try and match Cat on this Zarya pick. Even just to sort of enable Viper a bit more. I suppose we'll have to see what they're going to go with for the map pick here. I think they have probably looked better on the Winston than on the Reinhardt, so I would like to see them maybe stick to these sort of dive-orientated maps. If Grasshopper really does want to stick to the D.Va, maybe go for a bit more diva centric maps that you can play that full dive on. Maybe even see Shinx on something like the flex support role, like with a fire or something. I think that's where they look most comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, Shinx just in general has looked very very good on even the Reaper. As you said, he did look very well good on the Pharah, but even the Reaper, he's been coming up with big plays left and right. But I think just the fact that Double Cap is playing as a unit, and it seems like Capitalism is just a little bit all over the place at sometimes. I think it's really just I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like stuttering, but it really feels like Double Cap is playing as such a unit, and Capitalism at some times is just a little bit all over the place. And I think if Capitalism can fix that, if they're really coordinated, if they can just calm out everything, if they can get everything in order, I think this team is going to look solid.
Yeah, obviously Shinx, he's playing well. He's lining up the kill feed quite a bit. But when you're on that Reaper role, you kind of have to sort of almost control the pace of the game. You almost become like a third tank in that role. You have to take control of the game, slow the game down so that your tanks can get more damage in. That's kind of the point of Reaper. He's doing a great job on the mechanical side. He's finding big clutch kills. I mean, I don't think they would have even taken point A on it if it hadn't been for him. He's been real clutch at times. But I want to see him take control of the game a bit more, slow it down a bit more for his tanks. If they do decide to keep with the rush, or if they go for a full dive, I don't know anything could happen.
Yeah, and I mean then I believe the next map is Hybrid. Yes, Hybrid is next. So you could see a very, very wide array of maps here. Like I believe there is Kings Row, there's Eichenwald, and I believe the third one is Numbani. I might be wrong about that one. Or it's actually Hollywood, and it looks like that's what Capitalism will be picking. So Hollywood, definitely you're gonna see a lot of dive on here, especially those first 2 points.
Yeah, the first 2 points very dive heavy. I'm just wondering though, because on the third point, the dive does tend to struggle a bit. Although usually you do have the ults there to just snowball you through towards the end. So as you said, a lot of high ground on those first 2 points is going to make the dive very playable, and I think it does see the diva kind of step up over the Zarya here. But you know, if the Zarya just plays like he's been playing all day, I can't see much contest here.
Yeah, there has to be something that you have to do to shut down Kate. I mean, he's getting these grabs. It feels like I think I said it earlier, but it feels like he's getting them every fight. If you can just do something to shut down Kate, whether it's just a hack on him, you focus him down just a little bit more. I think that Double Cap might not be able to stand up as well. They might be missing a key part of that body that makes up Double Cap right now. If you could just shut him down, I think this would be a lot easier for Capitalism to deal with.
I think actually what I'd like to see is Grey Cub either on the Ana or the Zen. As you said, he is a very good flex support, and obviously you can do a lot more on that role than the Moira. So I'd love to see him come out on the Ana and the Zen. It's definitely doable on Hollywood. But if they do want to stick to the rush comps, we'll probably just be seeing more Moira Lucio.
I mean, yeah, Moira just provides so much healing. If you give that up, I mean, you have to play so much slower. And with the way that Tyler and Kate are playing, I don't think you really want to play slower. I think you really need to play up to their aggression.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna have my eyes on Grasshead for the whole time. I've said it a lot of times because, he is playing into Cat has become sort of a key matchup, but I am looking towards him. He is gonna have to be a difference maker on this map for me, especially if he does run the diva. He's gonna have to start eating those grabs because Cat he's building up one every single fight. Like I'm not even exaggerating. You watch him throughout the fights. By the end of the fight, he has grab every single time. And that's just what has enabled them so much. Obviously, grab is just such a powerful ultimate. It's almost a guaranteed team wipe every single time.
Yeah, and it looks like we will be going into Hollywood right now. and Hollywood. I mean, this first point it really is like it always feels like it's either a full hold or you just roll through the first 2 points. It never feels like there's that in between too much. But I really think now that DC is on this defense here, if if DC can control this pace, it's gonna be a full hold. At least that's what it feels like. But if Capitalism can come out here and just show them that like, hey, we're setting the pace this time. It's going to be our map. This is going to be for us, and they just play all out aggression. I think Capitalism can have a good chance of winning this map.
Yep, and as I said, we're gonna see Grey Cup come out on the Ana, so not gonna be running the Moira. It's gonna obviously, you're not gonna have that AoE healing, but what it does mean is that what we're gonna see probably is some ult cycling. So you can cycle ults. Okay, well, never mind. He's just gonna swap over to the Moira anyway.
No.
But at least Grimmett is running the Ana, so I can still talk about ult cycling. You can cycle between the Primal Rage and the Primal Rage. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking because every time I do, they swap a hero up.
Yeah, but it feels like it's always happening, man. Just stick to a hero, please. It's easier for us. But honestly, yeah, Tyler playing this Reinhardt, it's gonna be interesting to see how they play into the dive. Kenobi hacked almost instantly. That's quite a bit of healing down already. Explosive double cap. They won't pressure it just yet. Waiting for some resources coming back online. Viper low. He's gonna take this high ground. Grasshopper already on a mech. Kate finds Grey Cup. Kate finds full support in general. Madsen cleans up Grasshopper, and it's gonna be a pretty quick first fight.
Yeah, I don't think Capitalism really committed to the dive fully there, and it kind of cost them. Their supports were basically left in the back there, and that was just clean up for Cat. He's already 60% to a grab. He's not going to build up in the first fight, but probably the second if this keeps going like it is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Madsen already with this EMP. That's a very fast EMP. And there it is! 5 people hacked! Viper down and out very quickly. Madsen also gets a follow-up onto Goose. Kenobi actually Revolutioning onto Shinx. That's a nice little kill from Kenobi. And again, a very fast lost fight from Capitalism.
Yeah, and the main problem here is that Goostek, he dies very fast into that. He's only 50% towards the sound barrier. You compare that to Kenobi, he's basically there at this point, and that's not good at all for Capitalism. And it's really good if you're double cap.
Yeah, there's the grab. A Viper actually ends up taking out Tyler as Viper's in the grab. That's a little unlucky from Tyler. Shanks finds Madsen in the back line, but Kate finds 2. It's still winnable for double cap. Kate is still alive. Grimace dead to the bomb from Grasshopper. Can Kate clutches out, or can anybody from DC clutches out? Kate is dead. It's now just Kenobi on the point, and the Reaper is also there to contest. He does get Rogue, but actually the Reaper isn't dead just yet. Kenobi did fall, however, so it seems like Double Cap is going to want to back away and let them have this first point.
Yeah, it's probably a smart move there. You probably weren't going to get in a decent contest there. But a lot of ults for both sides. The EMP is going to be a big one for Capitalism here. If they can get off a big 4-man, 5-man EMP, they should be able to push through here. But the Shatter
was pretty big. Pingu actually able to follow up on it really nicely. Actually, I think the thing that was very curious about that fight is that Rogue ended up using EMP there.
Yeah, that was... I don't know if that was a miscall, what it was, but it wasn't... In hindsight, it wasn't good. Maybe the wrong call was made. Maybe they saw an opportunity. I certainly didn't, though.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit of just like, oh, it's here. Oh, my team's already dead. Oh. But there it is. There, a huge EMP from Madsen. The Goose Duck sound barrier is ready to come out, and the Grey Cup. Oh, dear Lord, Shakes! They have families, man! Come on, bro! They have families! Grimace 5 sheets, but Grimace instantly pays for Pingu also out of the fight, and it's going to be a team kill from Capitalism. Oh.
Gonna be a pause coming through here. Don't know what happened, but anyway. Shinx, he's been lining up the kill feed all game. He's been sticking to it, and Oh
There goes
well,
Kenobi.
it looks like we've had a disconnect. Um,
Kenobi is gone. Unfortunate. But I mean, let's go over what we've seen so far. We've seen it seems like we haven't seen that much aggression from the side of Double Cap so far on this map. I guess yes, this is, defense for them. So it's a little bit tricky with how you get aggressive, but I mean, even in these past maps when DC was on defense, they've been so aggressive. But right now, it seems like they're playing at a little bit of a slower pace, and honestly, it seems like it's costing them. It seems like Viper, Grasshopper, Shinx, and Rogue are all taking advantage of the fact that they're playing at a slower pace.
yeah, and I think it comes down to the fact that CD have gone with this Anna over the Moira, especially because they have continued to run this rush comp. I mean, they're not even running the Winston. I can't see much need for the Anna here unless you really want to get this ult cycling in. But I can't see it be working at the moment. The Moira's AoE healing, it's just enabling Shinx and Rogue and Viper and Grasshopper. It's basically enabling the whole team just that bit more. And I think they are looking a lot better. They're looking a lot more focused. They're kind of following up on each other's moves, sort of synergy building. And that's what you want to see. You never want to see a team be all disjointed. You always want to see them sort of reach their full potential.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You always want to see teams. You always want to see like the best two teams, going at it at one another. You always want to see that happening. But from what we see in the first two maps, it wasn't necessarily the case. But especially on this map, it seems like capitalism has gotten a little bit more into their groove. They started understanding how DC plays, and they started to be able to punish some of the stuff that either Kate's been doing, or that I think even sometimes you see Matson get picked off pretty early, or even Tyler. It seems like there's a little bit more punishing coming out from capitalism, and I think the best way DC would counteract that is they put Grim back on that Moira. They have Tyler go back to the monkey, and they play that dive brawl once again.
Yeah, and I think you kind of touched on it there for a second as well. There is a lot more punish, and this is really down to, I suppose, both DPS in Shinx and Rogue. They've kind of stepped up to this role, as I said, where when you're playing the Sombra and the Reaper, you can't just light up the kill feed. You also have to control the pace of the game, almost as like a third or fourth tank, and that's what they're doing right now. They're controlling the pace of the game. They're slowing it down to their tempo, and as a result, CD they're kind of struggling because, well, they don't have the heals for that long fight that capitalism does with the Moira, and it is making a big difference in these fights. Shinx is staying alive much longer, which I love to see. He was getting sort of a bit aggressive in the earlier maps, but now he's staying alive much longer, getting that sustained damage in, and just it's really turning some of these fights.
Yeah, it's absolutely turning some of these fights, but Kenobi is actually back in the lobby now. We've seen ours from both sides, and the pause countdown has begun, and we are officially back in this game. Flawless going crazy in the chat, going, ah! You love to see it. You really love to see it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this Primal Rage from Viper. It is a big ultimate. If executed perfectly, it can get a lot of damage, do a lot of disruption. So that's probably what I'm looking at here. Grimacy's gonna have the nano here, probably gonna put on to. But I mean, if Goostuck's just gonna go down, that's probably gonna be it for that fight.
That's a little unlucky from Goose that gets caught out in the backline there, but it looks like Capitalism tried to dive that backline onto Grim there, and it just completely failed. Viper actually using the Rage, he got slept on the high ground. Unlucky, and the Fire Strike going to finish him off.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of an ult economy reset there. We're looking at EMPs both coming up here, but that's about it. No sound barrier to match them. Matson's just going to get away here. It's just going to be down to these two EMPs, basically, which one's bigger. And there's a lot of pressure on Rogue right now.
Oh, the shatter coming out, it's huge! It finds four to the ground. Kate gonna fall off on it very quickly. That's a very quick double kill. Grimace actually beats out the Sombra. Oh, unlucky Rogue. But yeah, a huge shatter that came out from Tyler there, and the cleanup was very, very quick on the side of DC.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but Grimace actually landed a pretty sick sleep onto Rogue there. And there was going to be no EMP in that fight, basically. That could have been a real turner for them, but that was pretty big from Grimace to land that sleep right then and there.
Yeah, Grim. I mean, I feel like Grim is a little bit. He goes a little unnoticed sometimes, but Grim is still very good. The EP coming out from Madsen is actually huge. Gets 4, and the follow up. Death Blossom finds 1 for Pingu, but Shinx also kills Pingu. It's still a fairly even fight right now. But Kante gets nanoed. Oh, run and hide your terrors. He's got 2 already. Oh, Kante, he's nanoed, and he is walking into your front line.
Yeah, and he's built the grab off that, so again, it's on Grasshopper, he has to eat this. They don't really have anything, they're going to have the sound barrier, but that's going to be matched on the side of Double Cap, and you want the late sound barrier in these fights.
There it is, there's the grab. Norkippa has the Coalescence on it, so nobody dies just yet. Shinx! Huge Blossom, gets 2 with the Blossom, but it's a 4K in total. Big plays coming out from Shinx. Grasshopper finds Pingu and finishes him off, and that is a nice rotation of ultimates from the side of Kappitalism.
Yeah, but Double Cap's gonna have the sound barrier to recontest here. They have no reason to hold on to it. There's no ults on the side of Kappitalism right now. It looks like Tyler, he's just walked past Viper there, but I mean Cat, he's just beaming everyone down right now.
Cat beaming everyone down, Shinx out of the fight, and Drake out of the fight. It's gonna be really hard to come back in, but the shadow from Tyler is really gonna seal this deal. Madsen with that EMP, it's gonna be just enough to seal this deal. Rogue is a little late on the touch there. And that's gonna be round 1 completed.
Yeah, and I'm quite disappointed from Kappitalism there. They didn't really take control of the high ground, which is what the Winston is all about, especially on that second point. On that second point, the Winston, he gets so much value, especially into a Reinhardt, where he can just control these high grounds around the sort of walkway for the payload. But I didn't really see any of that from the way of Kappitalism, and they just played right into the hands of Double Cap, and I think it's going to cost them. It's very hard to hold up to second point, and I think that, you know, Double Cap, they have their win condition right in front of them. They can build their game plan around it. That's going to be a big advantage for them.
Yeah, Double Cap knows what they want to play, and they know what their strengths and weaknesses are. Yeah, we're gonna see Grim on the Moira this time, like Grey Cub on the Ana for this defense. It seems like a theme on Hollywood where you have Ana for this defense, which I'm not so sure about, but it seems like it's working fairly effectively. I mean, DC was able to hold, so who knows? Maybe we're just, you know, we're casters, we're not players, we're not smart, we don't know what's happening. So, oh, don't say that, Nog. But yeah, this honestly. This Ana seems like a very viable pick on this defense right now on Hollywood.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna allow the Winston play a lot more freely here, and as I said, that ult cycling can be pretty key, especially on defense, just to slow down the game as much as possible. Because really, you're playing for time when you're on defense, but Rogue's just gonna get picked off there.
Rogue, all right. Oh, that's a huge early advantage. No Sombra, no poke threat for the side of Kappitalism, and Grasshopper's going to be hacked in his mech right now, so no peel either, and Viper's just getting beaten down because of it. Pretty big anti coming out from Great Cup, but Pingu gonna be rolling over Shinx and Viper right now. Grim actually has to pick on the Q-Stick. Does get the res off, but Viper already out of the fight to the beat of Captain Tyler. Picks off Grasshopper. That's going to be a very fast first point. I mean, 5:30 on the time bank right now. That's fast.
Yeah, and they're going to have the EMP here and nothing to match on this side of Kappitalism. It's not looking good. If you are a Kappitalism fan, Kata is going to get hacked here. He's going to have to back up. But, I mean, Rogue getting picked at the start of the fight there, that was really bad because he's not able to build up the EMP to counter Madsen. They have absolutely nothing for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to counter this EMP right now. I mean, if Madsen even just gets 2 with this EMP, it's going to be huge. And he does. He gets both tanks. They're gonna get bursted down so fast, and they do. Pingu with that focus fire so quickly. Great Cup out of the fight as well. Kate does get Grasshopper, and they're just gonna keep rolling with this point right now. Shinx does send in the Bob, and he gets Kenobi, but I don't really know if that's gonna affect this fight right now. And Shinx actually gets late picked, as does Goose! Tyler with the pin from downtown!
Yeah, this is a complete disaster for Capitalism. Shink's gonna have to swap over to Tracer here so he can actually get to the fight in time. But Cat, he has that grab. And this could really be the nail in the coffin. Lands on the tanks.
And the EMP actually did come out from Rogue. There was a pretty big EMP, and they actually might be able to follow up on it. Pingu against the Viper. It's a very close fight so far. This could be potentially the last fight. Grasshopper, automatic Pingu, he's in the death boss, and this might just be it. The beat is out, and that is it. Double Cap will secure the point, and that will be the win for Double Cap, taking it 3-0 fashion. Double Cap wins the series.
Yeah, and you never doubted them for a second, did you? They looked so confident. They were always in control of the game. They just looked basically like a unit. They were basically just one. Shinx, he did have some clutch plays. I think he got play of the game on every single map, but I don't know about that. But his plays were clutch. But as I said, this tank line of Double Cap, they just control the game. It's not even just their mechanical skill, but they understand each other, and their supports understand what their tanks want to do, and that is absolutely invaluable, especially in this meta.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were such a cohesive unit on that Winston, or even the Rhine. When they're on that Rhine, or when they're on the Rhine or Winston, it doesn't matter. Tyler can play either one of them, but Kate, Madsen, Pingu, Kenobi, and Grimace were always there to follow up with him. And I mean, I think that's just a testament to how well Double Cap has either scrimmed these past few days or what have it. But I mean, they looked cohesive and they looked great.
Yeah, the Double Cap support line, it didn't get a lot of praise throughout the match, but they were so consistent. They knew what to do at the right time. They are just completely in sync with their tanks, and you really can't ask for anything more than supports. Yeah, they're not the most flashy, but they played well. They did their job, and because of that, Double Cap won in very convincing fashion. You only need to look at the scoreline to see that.
Absolutely. And now that it is the end of the match, we do have to bring up somebody for interview. And I mean, I think we both know who we want to interview for this match.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. There's no question about it. It's Kate, right?
Definitely, you want to bring Ka for this interview. I mean, he just looked so good. He just looked like he knew what he was doing. He had that Zarya down to a T. I mean, he looked so good on that Zarya.
He was dominant. He controlled the game. I don't even blame Grasshopper for not meeting him on that Zarya role. He played it to absolute perfection. I can understand why you'd want to pick the D.Va. But yeah, when you're playing against a player who's just playing that well and is in the zone like that, it can be incredibly hard, especially when they're on a hero like Zarya.
I'm gonna butt in for a second. Kat said very specifically, do not interview me, so can we pick someone else?
I think then probably the next person we want to go to is probably Madsen. He looked really good on that side.
Yeah, Madsen played well.
Madsen looked very consistent throughout the entire match, and I think he's definitely somebody that we could also interview. He's gone. I swear, everybody is gone. I mean, yeah, we could do Tyler. Yeah, we definitely could. Looks like everybody is gone from the DCVC. Oh no, Madsen's back. Madsen is back. Madsen is here.
Okay, I'm moving him.
All right, let's get Madsen in here.
Hello.
All right, what is up, Madsen? First off, congratulations on the win. You guys took that in a very, very dominant fashion. I mean, is there anything you want to say just off the bat, getting it rolling? What's something that's right off the top of your mind right now?
Uh, First off, easy game, except for Volskaya. We suck at that. Otherwise, pretty fucking easy. Oh, wait. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know. Dividing
You're
said
fine.
it.
You're fine. Just don't get us banned off Twitch.
Yeah. Oh. Well, yeah, that's fine there. But I think my first question I want to ask you is, I mean, you looked so consistent and very good on that Sombra. I'm guessing you guys practiced this comp all week, but was there anything you had to get used to learning the Sombra? I mean, it's a little bit of a newer character in this meta, or has this kind of been a hero that you always been pretty consistent with? What's been the deal with it?
I do have like a Sombra one trick account, although it isn't that high. But the playstyle generally is like pretty different to previous like Sombra megas that I play in on like my school team, for example. So I had to get used to that. I kind of inted for a little while. Otherwise, like it's pretty easy adjustment.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. And also, I think something that was very interesting to see is that you would often be hacking that diva throughout the match. You were constantly hacking that diva so she could not get any value. Was that part of the plan, or is it just like coincidence that you were always hacking her?
Yes, sir. It do be part of the plan. Hack the diva, no DM, things die.
I mean, that is pretty true. Molly, you got any questions for Matson over here?
No, I just want to say great job out there. And you say Volskaya wasn't a good map for you, but you definitely didn't show it. You played excellently there.
Thanks a lot.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, is there anything you want to say before you leave? Anybody you want to shout out on your team or the enemy team?
Cat. Shout out Cat. Man builds growls insanely quickly. And just my entire team, we did really well. Looking forward to next games.
All right. Well, that's pretty wholesome. Thank you, Madsen, for coming to the interview. We appreciate it a lot. And
thanks for having me.
Thank you. And that is going to be it for the DC versus Capitalism Week 1 match. And I mean, it was a very good game overall. I don't think there was. I think really the shining thing was just double cap in general. Double cap looked so good, and I cannot wait to see how they perform for the rest of the season. I honestly want to see how Capitalism improves, even going into next week. Just any little improvement is going to look so good for this team, and they could genuinely be really scary.
Well, I mean, if they play anything like they did today, I don't know who can stop them. They look so they're just a cohesive unit. They play together. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses. They know the disengages and the engages. They understand each other, and that's really all you can ask for from a team. They've clearly been scrimming well together, and they're going to be delighted after that match. So, I mean, Capitalism coming into the season, we said they were pretty good. They played well out there, but Double Cap have just looked so dominant in this series that I don't know if they play like that every week. I don't know who can beat them.
Absolutely. Well, that will be it for this stream. A little bit of a recap on another match that happened. Mob Mentality won 3-0 over Me 6. I do not have any updates on the other two matches, but I did see that Mob Mentality won 3-0, so if you want to go congratulate them as well, that'd be pretty cool. But that will be it for this stream as well. Thank you to everybody who came out. Thank you to my co-caster Mali for joining me on the cast, as you would say it, and thank you for Noct for streaming the match. And we will see you guys next week for the inner matches.
See ya, and thank you for Chungus for some excellent shoutcasting.